They say what happens at the beach stays at the beach. Nobody actually ever said that ever. But anyway, cute slogan, right? Well, for one couple, what happened in Ocean City definitely stayed there because, well, they never made it back home. Welcome to another true crime story time where I tell you one true crime case that was solved using forensic science, all while doing, that's right, my makeup. Quick reminder, the comment section is a privilege. Don't fuck it up. Now let's get into today's case. This case is wild, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, when I was researching this case and I looked it up, I was like, oh my God. You know, I read a lot of cases, I research a lot of cases, and some of the stuff just start to sound like the same story. Like, it's so weird. Some of them even have like the same or similar locations. Like Colorado. Girl, Colorado. Capital murder state. Like, I love Colorado. It's beautiful scenery, but probably not gonna move there. What was I saying? This case in particular caught my eye because it is so unique. Okay, so before we dive into this wild case, let's talk about the two people at the center of it, Josh Ford and Jeannie Crutchley. Josh was 32, young, fun, kind of the life of the party guy. He worked as an insurance underwriter, but outside of work, he was the guy that would always make you smile and you just wanted to hang out with and be around. Then there was Jeannie, short for Martha Jeannie Crutchley. She was an accountant at an insurance company. She was also very successful, just like Josh. They were both working professionals and very successful at what they did. Jeannie was 51, so she was quite a bit older than Josh. She's very smart and steady and had this presence that just made you feel grounded when you were around her. She'd been through her own ups and downs in life, just like Josh, but still enjoyed traveling, spending time with friends, and just enjoying life, you know? The two actually met by chance at a Christmas party in Boston in 2000 while Jeannie was away on business. They quickly connected, discovering that they had a lot of things in common. For starters, both had been married before and each raising a child of their own. They both balanced each other out perfectly. He brought like the fun, playful energy because he was young, while she kind of brought the same kind of energy, but in a mature way. So she had a little bit more wisdom, which just made them a perfect asset to one another. They just complemented each other very, very well. Friends say that they were that perfect couple that you wanted to be around because they were kind, generous, and well, just good people. By 2002, Josh and Jeannie were living together in Fairfax, Virginia. Josh and Jeannie, that's so cute. Their names kind of match. I mean, they don't identically match because Jeannie's name is actually spelled very uniquely. It's spelled Geney and not like the traditional Jeannie where you would spell it with a J. Life was pretty stable, and like most of us, they looked forward to a little escape when the holidays rolled around. So when Memorial Day weekend rolled around, they decided to rent a condo and head to Ocean City, Maryland. They rented a condo in one of those little beach resorted towns where, you know, everybody's basically sunburned and drunk or the both. You know the vibes, loud music, flip-flops flapping down the boardwalk, and frozen drinks everywhere, most likely alcoholic. And honestly, that should have been it. Just a little fun getaway, but instead it turned into a nightmare. Because sometimes the most dangerous things about beach vacations isn't the sharks in the water, it's the people on the land. And actually, that's probably true not even on vacation. They now just said it. Now, Josh and Jeannie weren't the type to flake on their responsibilities. They were super dependable. There was hardly ever a time when they would call off work. Let's just say they were the kind of coworkers that made everyone else look bad. You know the ones. You know the ones I'm talking about. They be doing the most. They be doing extra. Well, maybe it's not extra. Maybe it's just like what you're supposed to do, but some of us just can't hang. Those guys. So when they both just didn't show up for work for days, alarm bells went off. Jeannie's coworkers tried calling and texting her. I mean, they tried everything, but they got nothing, like no answer at all. And that's when they knew something wasn't right. And they notified Ocean City police. Our boys is coming. They coming? I just had an epiphany. Oh my God. Someone should make like wigs for your eyebrows. like a hairpiece eyebrow, and I could just like stick it on. Shave off my eyebrows and stick them on. My boyfriend would go mad if I did that. He thinks mine look beautiful naturally, so he doesn't really care for me drawing them on. But you know, he has boyfriend blindness, which I appreciate, but also gotta make sure I keep myself in check. So detectives get to Josh and Jeannie's condo, right? And the first thing they notice is that Jeannie's car is still parked in its designated parking spot. It looks like it's been chilling there for days. Like it had sand all over it. Like, hey girl, remember me? They go inside expecting chaos, but nope. Their clothes were still there, their expensive camera, Jeannie's car keys were all in their usual spots, which is weird. You would think they would take that with them if they were leaving somewhere. Nothing's broken, nothing's missing. It's like these people been abducted or something. It was eerie, like they just stepped out to grab a drink and never came back. So detectives started knocking on doors around the condo complex. Nothing. No one saw or heard anything. The building was one of those setups for private vacation rentals. You know, each condo had its own entrance, great for privacy. Not so great when you're trying to find a witness. A background check reveals that Josh and Jeannie used their credit cards that Saturday night at a bar. The waitress remembered them and she said that they seemed chill, just a normal couple out for drinks. Josh apparently was glued to the Celtics game, totally in his own world. Is it Celtics? I don't know. They ain't my team. Is that basketball? Because I'm not even gonna pretend like I know anything that much about basketball. I'm not. I'm a football girly at heart, a football hockey girly. After that, things get interesting. Investigators learn that the couple hopped on a bus headed to one of Ocean City's hottest nightclubs, Secrets. The bus driver actually remembered them. He picked them right out of a photo lineup. He said that they were chatting with another couple on a bus. They were a lot younger. They were Caucasian, around their mid to late 20s. And that they all seem to be just like chatting it up and having a good time. And that's where things start to get weird. According to eyewitnesses at the club, the two couples, Josh and Jeannie, and the mystery couple they met on the bus, were seen waiting for almost an hour to get inside of the nightclub. Like, I'm sorry. See, this is where I'm too old because I am not waiting no dang hour. I'm not waiting an hour for no place that ain't serving food. So no, that's a hard pass for me. Once they finally got inside, they went straight for the bar. Drinks was flowing, music was bumping. And from the outside, it looked like everybody was having a great time. Whoa, Jack. Everybody except for my eyebrows is trying to run from me right now. Nothing seemed weird. They were laughing, talking, doing what people do on vacation, you know, letting loose. But when the night came to an end, witnesses say they saw the four leaving together. And that was the last time anyone saw Josh or Jeannie alive. So at this point, Josh and Jeannie are still missing. Their friends are worried. Their co-workers are panicking. And missing flyers are plastered all over the boardwalk. Days go by, nothing. It's like they vanished into thin air. Then, on early Friday morning, May 31st, 2002, almost a week later, just after midnight, police in Ocean City get a silent alarm from a local Hooters. Y'all not ready, y'all not ready. Yep, a Hooters. Someone's breaking in. I'm in here.
Hello.
Hi.
Oh, you're filming?
Yeah. Oh, my chocolates. So excited. Thank you. When the first officer pulls up, he spots a dark-colored Jeep backed up against the restaurant door. And guess what? Two people, a man and a woman, are casually walking out, arms full of stolen Hooters merchandise. I'm confused. I think I need to take a nap. You robbed a Hooters. Like t-shirts, hats, menus, basically everything but the wings. The pair were arrested on the spot and identified as Benjamin, or BJ as he's known for, Siegfried, and his wife, Erica. And get this, when the officer confronts him, BJ is all like, can we just put this all back and we'll be cool? Sir, I'm sorry, that is not how felony burglary works. You don't get to just put it all back and be cool. when you get busted. Like, what? We are back another day. Now, Erica Elaine Grace was born in this small town called Roaring Springs, Pennsylvania. Very cute, very postcard vibes. Her parents, Charlotte and Gerald, raised her in what seemed to be the typical all-American small town. She lived a fairly all-American upper middle class life. She was smart, athletic, the overachiever type, honor student, basketball player, total golden girl. Like, she was giving it all, honey. Then we've got Benjamin Adam Siegfried, or BJ as he was known. Born in Estherville, Iowa to Elizabeth and Craig, BJ had big dreams of being a Navy SEAL. And he actually made it through this insanely hard training in the SEALs in 1997. Here is where it all goes downhill and fast. BJ gets kicked out, like full on bad conduct discharge. Why? Oh, well, you know, just the usual skipping duties, insubordination, and wearing stuff that he wasn't authorized to wear. Probably uniforms and badges, if you catch my drift, that he wasn't authorized to wear. Basically acting like a walking red flag with dog tags. So his SEAL status, yeah, gone. Anyway, in 1998, Erica and BJ got married when they were both just 20. You're not gonna have any problems, no. I really don't understand why people are in such a hurry to get married so young. Back in the day, the lifespan was a lot shorter, so it was perfectly acceptable for a couple to get married earlier on because they were probably only making it to like about 30 or 40 years old, you know? But now that the lifespan is a lot longer, the idea of someone getting married at the age of 20 is like, it's insane to me. The younger you get married, in my opinion, the chances of failure is extremely high. I feel like anybody under the age of 25 should be getting married. Like, if your brain is not fully developed, don't do it, honey. Like, and some of y'all should be doing it at all. Anyway, I digress. They were young, wild, and clearly had no idea what was coming for them. After tying the knot, they moved back near Erica's hometown in Altoona, Pennsylvania, where they opened a scrapbooking store. Yeah, you heard me right, folks. The two people that are suspected of murdering another couple, they opened a scrapbooking store because nothing says healthy newlyweds like glitter and glue and unresolved anger issues. Who would have guessed behind all those stickers and glitter pins that a whole storm was brewing? Because here's the thing, the scrapbooking store wasn't exactly booming, and neither was their marriage. BJ had a temper, Erica had control issues. Perfect match, right? Match in hell. Together, they were like gasoline and a match. Toxic, intense, and just waiting to explode. People who knew them said they were inseparable, but not in the cute, romantic way. They didn't really hang out with other people, and whenever they did, it seemed like there was tension under the surface just bubbling up, which can make other people feel uncomfortable. BJ, who had once been this disciplined Navy guy, started to unravel. He was drinking, popping pills, and leaning hard into this "I used to be a Navy SEAL" identity. Girl, listen. Meanwhile, Erica wasn't exactly pulling him out of it. If anything, she fueled it. She liked being the one in control. Their relationship was built on this weird power dynamic. Her manipulating him and him obeying. They kind of fed off each other's chaos. Like they weren't happy unless something dramatic was happening. Listen, I know a couple of folks. I've been there. That's why they're ex-peeps. So by the time Memorial Day weekend of 2002 rolled around, things between them were already off the rails. And when they decided to take a trip to Ocean City, Maryland, let's just say they didn't go for the crab cakes, okay? They were not showing up for the crab cakes. So during the arrest, the police searched the couple and honey, it is a whole arsenal situation. Erica's got a .357 revolver tucked into her waistband like it's an accessory. BJ is carrying a fully loaded 99mm handgun as well. Romantic, right? I mean, what can I say? A couple goals. But that wasn't even the weird part. When officers went through Eric's purse, they found something that made everyone's stomach drop. Virginia license IDs. And not just any license. The licenses belong to none other than Josh and Jeannie Crutchley. So when detectives set Erica down for questioning, they're all like, girl, where did you get these licenses from? And she's all like, oh, we found him on the beach one day and we just picked it up and just took him with us. Sure, Jan. Sure. Which I guess that could have happened, but highly unlikely. She and BJ both denied ever meeting Josh and Jeannie, but of course investigators weren't buying it because it's just a load of baloney. And then they searched the Jeep, and let me just tell you, it was getting worse. Inside the back of the vehicle, they find a ski mask, flex cuffs, and gloves. Oh, and yeah, they also found a .45 caliber HK combat weapon as well. These people was locked and loaded and ready to go. Like, what were they planning? A weekend scrapbooking spree or a hostage situation? Detectives started wondering if Josh and Jeannie was kidnapped and if the Siegfrieds was holding them captive somewhere. After the whole armed Hooters burglary fiasco, police were like, okay, there's something off with these two for sure. So they got a search warrant and headed straight to the Siegfrieds' penthouse in Ocean City. And once they get inside, yeah, it doesn't take long for things to start getting dark. At first glance, things look normal. Clean, organized, maybe a little too clean. But investigators notice the bathroom door looks brand new. And that's not normal for a vacation rental, right? There's signs of fresh paint on the wall, cleaning supplies are still out, and it's almost like you can feel that eerie cover-up energy in the air. It's too neat, too scrubbed. This wasn't just a random crime of opportunity. It was personal, and whoever did it was trying to erase what happened there. With further investigation, they find 2 bullet casings on the coffee table in the living room. One of them had a red-brown substance on it that appeared to be blood. So investigators bring in the forensics team, right? The tech starts swatching everything. The counters, the floors, underneath the baseboards, I mean everything. If it had a surface, it got a Q-tip. Then they find bullets in the condo, both fired from BJ's personal .357 revolver. So while detectives are combing through the condo, they notice a stack of photos just lying out. And on top, there was a picture of Jeannie and Josh at Secrets, the nightclub, the night that they had gone missing. In one of the photos, Josh is seen smiling, having a good time, and he's wearing his silver ring. Okay, remember that. Now fast forward a couple of days later, in another photo, Erica Siegfried is seen wearing that same ring on a chain around her neck. Like, girl, not the murder bling. And guess what? When they arrested her, the ring was right there in her purse, along with a little bonus, a key. On a hunch, detectives go to Josh and Jeannie's condo to test the key out. And of course, the door unlocks. The key is to Josh and Jeannie Crutchley's condo. I mean, if that's not enough evidence, I really don't know. At that point, police are like, enough with the games. Between the ring, the blood, the keys, and the lies, this is not a coincidence. The Siegfrieds weren't just suspects anymore. They were more and more likely the killers. So the forensics team is going over the Siegfrieds' bathroom. And almost immediately, they notice something weird on the bathroom tile. It's this orange rusty substance smeared along the baseboard and on the shower stall. They're like, okay, this is definitely not self-tanner. So they test it, and yeah, it's blood. Then one of the techs pulls the stopper out of the drain in the sink. Brace yourself. They find chunks of hair tangled up with what appears to be blood and flesh. Like actual skin tissue. I told y'all, you wasn't ready. That's the kind of thing that will make even the most seasoned investigator go pale. As if that wasn't enough, underneath the sink, they find a bullet hole that goes through the wall straight into the next room. When ballistics ran its test, they confirmed that that bullet matched the same casings that they found in the living room on the coffee table. Oh, and in one of the bathroom windows, crime scene investigators were able to lift a palm print from. So the bullets and blood samples go off to the lab, and this is where the sciencey stuff really starts to kick in. Forensic scientists run a DNA analysis and they are able to create a full genetic profile. Then, to be sure, they grab Josh and Jeannie's toothbrush from the condo. Because, fun fact, that's one of the best ways to confirm someone's DNA. When I compared the samples from the crime scene to those profiles, it matched. The blood found on the bullets laying on the coffee table belonged to Josh Ford. Now here's where it gets real disturbing. Investigators believe those bullets have been dug out of Josh's body after he died. Yeah. They also test-fired Erica's .357 revolver. The same gun found on Erica the night of the Hooters break-in was the murder weapon. When faced with all of the damning forensic evidence, Erica finally cracked. She strikes a deal with prosecutors that she'll lead them to the bodies and testify against BJ for a lighter sentence. Erica decides to talk, and what she tells investigators is straight out of a horror movie. She admits that after Josh and Jeannie were killed, her and BJ dismembered their bodies. Then, like it was just another errand on their to-do list, they drove 10 miles out to Delaware and dumped the remains in random dumpsters. Now, this is where detectives get lucky because Delaware actually have this super organized waste system. They track every single load that comes into the landfill and know exactly which plot it's dumped in, which is both impressive and in this case, a total game changer. 8 days after Josh and Jeannie went missing, investigators started searching the designated plot. And that's where they found them. Parts of their dismembered bodies were recovered. It was gruesome, but it was the proof they needed. And remember that palm print found on the bathroom window? It turned out to be Josh's, meaning at some point during the attack, he was still alive and tried to defend himself. And that realization hit detectives so hard, but just when they thought the case was closed, Erica decides to overshare because apparently she wasn't done shocking everyone. At first, she claimed she had nothing to do with the actual murder, that she just helped dispose of the bodies. But during the pre-test of the polygraph, she slips up. She admits that she was way more involved than she had originally let on. She confesses to grabbing a knife and stabbing Jeannie herself. And get this, she says the tattoo on her stomach has a special meaning. According to Erica, she got it on the same side and in the exact location where she stabbed Jeannie, so she could always remember that night. Like, ma'am, therapy exists. She went even further, saying that she was the one who had ordered the killings in the first place. Now, her original plea deal, the one that was supposed to give her a lighter sentencing in return for her showing them where the bodies were and testifying against Josh, was contingent on her telling the truth during the polygraph examination, which we now know that she didn't because she admitted that she didn't. So yeah, that went right out the window. She failed the test, she lied, and prosecutors tore up the deal on the spot. By the end, the perfect couple turned on each other. Erica blamed BJ and BJ blamed Erica. Why am I not surprised? So here's the thing. Even though investigators had confessions, DNA, and all of the forensic evidence, there was still one missing piece: the motive. Like, what makes two people go from scrapbooking, bar hopping to full-on murder dismemberment? So detectives go back to Erica, hoping that she'll finally spill something that makes sense. And she does, but honestly, it just makes everything even worse. Erica tells detectives that she and BJ hadn't been, intimate in a while. BJ got his kicks from burglaries and danger. Anything with a little risk got him going, so naturally they had to raise the stakes because apparently robbing a Hooters wasn't enough foreplay anymore. According to Erica, on the night of the murders, she and BJ invited Josh and Jeannie back to their condo for a dip in the hot tub. Fun, casual, right? Except for when they got there, the sick freaks decided to play a sick little game. A game that would only be between them two. Erica hides her purse with her expensive jewelry in it. She then ropes Josh and Jeannie into helping her find it. The catch, if they could find the purse, they would live. If they couldn't, they would die. So when the couple couldn't find it, BJ accused them of stealing. They deny it, of course, but BJ pulls out his gun and forces them to strip. Terrified, Josh and Jeannie makes a run for it and lock themselves in the bathroom. Josh tries to open the window, leaving his palm print behind, the same one that investigators later found. Eventually, BJ kicks down the door. Erica says that BJ shot Josh. Then she says she aimed at Jeannie but missed. The bullet went through the wall, so she grabbed a knife and started stabbing her. Now, if that wasn't horrifying enough, it gets worse. Erica later tells investigators that when she returned from grabbing paper towels to clean up the blood, she found BJ in the hot tub with both the victims' heads. She said he had removed the bullets from Josh's head as trophies. Over the next 24 hours, the Siegfrieds dismembered the bodies, stuffed the pieces into plastic bags, and dumped them in trash bins across Delaware. And yes, they even stopped by the hardware store to buy a new door and cleaning supplies before going on to enjoy the rest of their vacation. But here's the thing, the forensic evidence didn't totally back up Erica's version of events. The blood patterns, the ballistic evidence, it all painted a different story. One where Erica wasn't some helpless bystander or reluctant accomplice, but an equal partner in the killings. It's time for the grand reveal. What? No, I'm putting it back on. You guys better not make fun of me. How can I make this look decent? Can I do like a side part or something? It's just fresh out the shower, girl. It's fresh out the shower, a little bow dry. Thanks to forensic science and some great detective work, BJ Siegfried was convicted of 1 count of second-degree murder and sentenced to 38 years in prison. Erica Siegfried was convicted for both the murders and sentenced to life in prison plus 20 years, which I think is fair. What did you guys think about this case and my makeup look? Please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoy my content and you think that I am somewhat underrated, then please click the hype button. I know a lot of people are confused about where it exactly is located. It should be right under the video. It is time sensitive, so you only have about 3 days to hype my video. I don't know what happens after that. I think it just like disappears or something. It just let YouTube knows that I am a creator worth watching. So if you have the time, I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next true crime story time. Bye.